No, I think the president's proposals are extremely good. They will be very pro-growth. People tend to forget that Reagan brought growth to 4% a year. We're at 2%. These tax cuts that Trump and the House Republicans are putting together are, in fact, going to take us from 2% growth a year to 4%. If you have, as we did with Reagan, grow at 4% a year instead of 2% a year, the federal government gains $5 trillion in a decade beyond what they would have raised without the tax cut. So $5 trillion allows you to cut taxes a lot and still not increase the deficit. That happened with the 2003 tax cut that Bush put forward. After the 5 years after the tax cut, the government raised more money than they expected to if they'd never cut taxes at all. They not only, the tax cut did pay for itself. Every once in a while people say tax cuts never pay for themselves. It did in 2003 until 2008, the 5 years of that tax cut where what everything was responding to was the tax cut. And Reagan's tax cuts also created tremendous economic growth and job creation and gave us a wonderful buttressing of the economy and through the economy, revenues and our ability to have a strong national defense. These are very important issues, and the Trump tax cut is designed just like the Reagan's ones were. It'll create more jobs, create more growth, and the people who are worried about deficit spending, well, we need to focus on reducing spending. That's true, but we should never use that as an argument not to have pro-growth, pro-job creating tax reduction.
Well, it's always interesting to me, Grover. We talk about globalism and the need to compete, and it seems to me that if we're going to be talking about all of that, instead of using globalism as a form of surrender to other economies, it always means to me we should step up our competitive game, and we're not competitive on the corporate tax rate at all.
No, our corporate tax rate, our business tax, is 35% for companies and 44% for individuals who have a small business that they run inside their personal income taxes. Millions of Americans do. We're going to take those numbers to 15%, from 35 to 15. Now, Ireland's at 12.5, so they'll still be a little bit ahead of us, but Britain's at 20, Canada's at 27, the European average is 23. At 15, we will be able to compete with these other countries. At 35, it's very difficult to compete.
What do you think the Trump plan will do for those mom and pop businesses you referred to, the small business owner?
It's even a bigger tax cut for them. It's from 44%, which is crazy because Obama hates small businesses and hates self-employed people and family businesses and keeps raising taxes on them more than on businesses. He was nastier to small self-employed companies than he was to the Fortune 500 companies. The Trump Republican plan takes it from 44%, the top rate you could pay as an individual, as a business, down to 15. That's almost two-thirds down. You're going to see an explosion of young people able to start new businesses, people who always wanted to do something, being able to do that, and not having the government kill their dreams.